What's up, guys? I wanted to start this video off talking about something that I don't think I mentioned before in any of my other videos. If you watched my other videos, you know that I just finished my AT Thru hike recently, and I don't think I mentioned that my trail name and how I got it. So on the trail, my name was Pop because I'm from Michigan and we don't say soda, we say pop, and it always just stood out down south, so hence Pop. So yeah, I'm Pop, and this video is going to be about mostly a review on the Therm-a-Rest Zlite, but also just a kind of a general discussion about sleeping pads on the trail. I also have the Lite Xlite. So yeah, mostly a review on this, but we'll just see where the discussion takes us. So yeah, this is what I use on the trail, and actually my original plan was to start with the Xlite here, and I popped a hole in it right before the trail. So just as a last minute thing, I went and bought the Zlite, and just in being forced to use it, I ended up loving it. And so this is what I used the entire trail. When Therm-a-Rest sent me this one back, they sent me a new one. I decided just to keep using this because it's awesome. And so the reason I love this thing and why I didn't want to get that thing back, the Xlite back, is just mainly because of the ease of use. When I got this was the first time I ever used a closed cell foam pad. So I was pretty used to the blow-up ones. And I just never realized how easy this thing is to use all the time. You just lay it out and you're done. And when you're ready to pack your stuff up, just fold it up and you're good to go. It's that simple. So because of that, I love it. There's also many other benefits. So I'll get into the technical details of it right now. This is the regular version. It's coming in at 14 ounces. It has a R value of 2.6, and the R value is basically how warm it's going to keep you. The higher the number, the warmer the pad is. So this thing, it worked fine. You know, plenty of cold nights on the AT, and I never felt like the cold from the ground was coming through into my body or anything. So the R value is totally fine on this. And yeah, Therm-a-Rest uses what's called they call it a thermocapture coating. And I guess this coating on it increases the warmth by 20%. And I have to say it probably works because I never felt cold. So yeah, as well as some of the other benefits to this were that you could just lay it down just to sit on. You know, if you're walking and you come to a water source and you're going to sit down and filter water, instead of just sitting on a stump or something, you can just lay this down. Sometimes I would just sit it down like this. I wouldn't even lay it out, just so it's max cushion, you know. So I'd just sit on this. If you want to lay out in the sun, boom, throw it down. I would use this pretty much every single day when I was packing up my tent. I would pretty much pack everything I could in my backpack while in my tent. And then I would get out, I would lay this down, and I would put my pack on top of it while I packed up my tent. Just because usually in the morning, a lot of times there's dew on the ground, you don't really want your pack to get wet, or, you know. So just to keep everything dry and clean, worked out awesome for that. So yeah, that is that. And so as far as using a blow-up pad, these have many benefits as well. These are more comfortable. And when I say more comfortable, I don't mean that a closed cell foam pad is uncomfortable by any means. It's just cushier, you know, there's air in it. And a lot of people, I understand a lot of people may have like hip issues or back problems. So using a pad like this is pretty much necessary. And these are great. It's actually 2 ounces lighter, 12 ounces, and the R value is a little better. I believe it's 3.2. So this is going to keep you a little warmer, but I mean, they're relatively the same. If you're getting cold with either of these, you need to go to like the X-Therm or something that's made for cold weather sleeping. A couple drawbacks though on the trail were that these are loud, and I know Therm-a-Rest did fix this one. It used to be like really loud, and now it's only kind of loud. That is a drawback to pretty much all blow-up mattresses. If you're sleeping in a shelter, it's kind of a bummer when someone comes in and they lay down right next to you with one of these pads, because it's just loud. They're moving around. There's no way this can be as quiet as a normal sleeping pad. But honestly, from what I saw on the trail, this was probably the most popular blow-up pad, and this was probably the most popular closed cell foam pad. So you really can't go wrong with either. Another positive to the Zlite here is the accordion style like folding and how it works. Therm-a-Rest also makes a very popular pad called the Ridge Rest, and it rolls up. It's also a great pad. The R value is a little higher. It's not quite as comfortable though. This definitely is a little bit thicker. This is, well, when it's new, it's about 3/4 of an inch thick, but after use it squishes down. But just how compact that is, you know, that is a pretty good. Obviously, this beats it big time. But as far as a closed cell foam pad goes, this is a nice size. You can put it under your pack if your pack allows that, or on top. Whereas the Ridge Rest is you have to fold it up, so it's like, you know, it's much bigger when it's folded up. Another thing I would suggest so you're kind of getting the best of both worlds, if this is how you want to do it, is if you want to use a blow-up pad, I would suggest getting Therm-a-Rest's Xlite pad. It's this pad exactly, only just way smaller. It's just a little pad, and it allows you to whip it out and sit on. You know, so you're getting the benefits of this. You're just not sleeping on it, but you're getting the benefits of being able to sit down and, you know, be comfortable and not have to sit in the dirt or in something wet. So yeah, that's great. And like I said in my gear overview video after the thru hike, I honestly don't know what I would do without this thing. And I'm really, really happy that I actually ended up getting a hole in this, because it would have been such a pain. Now, using a pad like this on maybe a weekend hike or something like that, it's fine. You know, it's a little more comfortable. It's, you know, it's compact, and blowing it up and folding it down for 1 or 2 nights isn't going to be a big deal. But on something as long as a thru hike, a lot of people did it, I know, but it's not something I would have wanted to do. It'd just be such a pain. Like, I see people doing it, and then meanwhile, you know, I'm in my tent and I'm just like, you know, boom, ready to go. You know, and they're, you know, getting all the air out of it and folding it, rolling it up, putting it in a little stuff sack. And I don't want to talk bad about it. It definitely has its positives, and it definitely has its place, you know, its time of use. But for a thru hike, not something I would want to use. Another huge positive to closed cell foam, basically they're indestructible. It's just a soft foam. So if you cut a hole in it or a tear in it, I mean, this has, you know, this has little kind of tears and chunks taken out all over the place. It really doesn't affect the performance at all. If you cut a deep hole in it, you can put tape on it. But pretty much anything that you're actually going to get isn't going to be a big deal. I know somewhere on this, I don't even know where, I had a stake kind of sticking up out of the ground, and this was kind of laying over it somehow. Don't ask me how, but it was weird. And I ended up stepping on this, and the stake, like the top of the stake, curly part, pretty much went all the way through this. And not a big deal, you know, didn't affect the performance at all. So they're indestructible. Another huge positive is that these are, what, $35? To where the Xlite is, I don't know, what, 120? Huge price difference. So if you need this, it's totally worth getting. It's an excellent sleeping pad. But for the price, this cannot be beat. And even all the other sleeping pads that are out there, my hiking partner, Spaghetti Monster, she used the Ridge Rest, and every once in a while she'd lay on this and she'd always say how much more comfortable this pad felt than hers. Hers did have a higher R value, but the difference is so little that it's hardly even worth mentioning. But yeah, this is a very comfortable sleeping pad. Another thing worth mentioning is that this is the regular length sleeping pad of the Zlite. So it's 6 feet long. Some people might ask, would it be worth getting the shorter one? I would say yes. You'll shave off a couple ounces, and so how I would use this thing is I would put my head, I'd have it laid out. So let's say my feet are down there, and this is like this. I would have my my extra clothes bag using as a pillow. I would have that right here, so my heel would still be on this. Do I think it would be a big deal if my heel was on the ground? Not really. It depends on how cold it would be. If you're using this for pretty much summer days, summer nights, the shorter one would be fine. You're not gonna, you're not gonna be freezing because your heel is touching the ground. So I do have the larger one. I did like it. I thought it was really nice that my heel and my feet were off the ground. But if they were on the ground, wouldn't be a big deal. During the colder nights, I could see how that could affect your warmth and staying warm at night. But overall, I don't think you would be. I don't think you'd be dissatisfied or unsatisfied with the shorter one if you're really trying to save ounces. Okay, and something else I wanted to mention about the Zlite, and something that I would do often, and I feel like everyone does, and that's in the morning when you're, maybe cooking, kind of getting around in your tent, and it's still chilly, chilly, the air is cold, the ground is cold. This is so much easier, I feel, to be sitting on while you're doing your morning tasks, whether it be making coffee, cooking breakfast, kind of getting everything around in your pack. It's so much easier to move this around your tent to, you're not sitting up high really compared to a blow-up pad. You can push it right to the end of your tent, so the door is right there, so you're easily cooking and stuff. I just felt like it was so easy, and I feel like it would be a lot harder to do that with the Xlite. You're up higher, it like moves when you're on it. So yeah, I think advantage Zlite. So overall, I would give the Therm-a-Rest Zlite a 10 out of 10. This, fantastic product. I would use this, I'm going to continue to use this until this thing is really no longer usable. It's already flattened down a little bit, but I think it still has plenty of life on it. If you want to go with the Xlite, you're not making a bad choice at all. Fantastic product as well. I just feel like there are some more downsides to this, but there's also some positives. If you need more support in your sleep and you can't sleep on flat ground, go with this one. It's over any other blow-up pad. So in conclusion, I would say go with the Therm-a-Rest Zlite pad. For the durability, the weight, and the price, I don't think it can be beat, and you'll be really, really satisfied. So yeah, as always, thank you for watching, and happy trails. See ya.